G'day Oz ADV Rider. Today we're going to be taking a look at my original Gen 1 V-Strom 650 motor. Now this engine had done about 130,000 Ks and was using a lot of oil. So I'm expecting to find worn rings, but we'll strip it down and have a look. Ultimate goal is to rebuild the top end of this motor and get it back in my bike. But to start with, we'll strip it down, see what we're dealing with. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a mechanic, I'm just sharing my findings and my opinions. Do what you want with that information. Don't blame me if it all goes wrong if you follow. So far I've removed the spark plugs, crankcase breather hoses, pair hoses, thermostat and radiator hoses, and the generator cover plugs. So we're just starting to get into the interesting bits. We'll take off that front cylinder head cover. So 3 bolts, they are slightly different. These ones with the big seals are the shorter ones, and the longer one goes over here. Righto, here we go. Next up will be the rear cylinder head cover. There we go. Just carefully peel out the gasket. Righty, I'll turn it back around. So next up we need to line up that front top dead centre mark. So I have the F lined up, but my cam lobes are pointing down, so I've got to do another revolution. It's rear. So next I'll remove the cam chain guide. And I'll be doing my best not to drop the screws down into the engine. There we go, 3 screws, cam chain guide off. So next up will be the cam chain adjuster. There we go, and there's a spring comes out with it. Carefully remove that. Next up we remove the cam journals. So this will be on dowels, it should just lift straight up. Okay, now the exhaust side. There we go. Okay, now we remove the cam shaft. If I can get hold of him. There we go. Normally if I'm doing valve clearances I'll just move that aside and do it, but she's got to come right out this time. Okay, intake front, I'm guessing that is I and F on it. Yeah, EXF exhaust front. First bolt to remove is this one here. Maybe I'm better off with that. Yep, 5mm Allen key. Put it in there. Now there's two bolts down there, that's next. Yep. So that's a 10mm socket, if you can find it. Okay, so I've got a magnet there. I'll stick it on the end of my extension. And try not to stick, because everything's aluminium except the bolt. It grabs on pretty good. There's a bolt down there, one down there, one there, one there. And it says to loosen them off diagonally bit by bit. They look like a 12 or a 13. Yep, 12mm socket. Good chance they'll be a bit tight for this little ratchet too. So there we go. Yep. Oh, yeah, these ones are tight. Oh. Yeah, at this point I'd just like to say I've never been this far into an engine before, so it's all new for me. I've had camshafts out to do shims and that's it. The old magnet again, I'll put it on that side. Oh, holy shit, look at that. Feels like dowser these two corners. That's where it's wiggling around. Yeah, there it is there, I see ya. That's better. Head gasket sticking. There we go. Fair bit of carbon build up on those valves. That's it. It says remove the cylinder head gasket which come out with the head, remove the dowels which come out with the head, remove the chain guide. That one seems like it's fixed. So that one there slides out. There you go. That one must be fixed at the bottom somehow. So next we've got to remove the cylinder nuts, which are, oh, those two little fellas. Stuck on. Yeah. Oh, was that the? No, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm just going to have to give that a yank. Righto. Oh, there's one dowel's just fallen out in my hand. I'll pull the other one out so I don't lose it. So remove the base gasket. It says make sure the oil jet is still in the crankcase, which would be that there, which it is there. Next thing we've got to put a rag around this so we don't lose anything down into the crank. There's a circlip in there we've got to remove. So there's a little groove there. See if my O-ring picker will do the job. Yeah, should do. There we go, one circlip. There we go. Oh, that's enough. Just for my records, it's got 20F and that's pointing to the front. There's no visible wear on the sides, on the skirts there. It all looks really good. So we do all the same again with the rear cylinder. I've turned the crankshaft 360 degrees, so the mark is still on an F, but it's at the opposite stroke. So this is the rear cylinder. Inlet camshaft lobes are pointing up, exhaust camshaft lobes are pointing that way. So we go one cam chain guide, one cam chain tensioner, inlet camshaft. Now let me see, INR, inlet rear. And this one says EXR, exhaust rear. Ooh. Yeah, that's interesting. There's a bit of carbon on the valves, but the piston itself looks very clean on this one. That's it. Oh, there it goes. This is the piston circlip. There we go, we're out. Piston rings are free to move. Skirts look okay. So this time the 20F points to the rear of the motor. Righto, so this is my top end in pieces. Rear cylinder, front cylinder. So that's the front cylinder. All looks very nice in there. No real obvious signs of wear. Normally you'll get wear down the skirts on the piston, that looks fine. Piston rings are fine. They all move. That's something that can happen. The piston rings can get gummed up and get stuck in position. Yeah, a lot of carbon build up on that front cylinder, on that front piston. Other than that, it looks pretty good. Yeah, the rear definitely looks more worn. There's marks in it. Yeah, there's quite a few marks in that. It's definitely not as nice and smooth as the other one, is it? Yeah, it doesn't look as pretty, that's for sure. But the piston looks like it's in better nick. So what's that about? Rings are good, skirts are good. Dunno. I guess all I can do is take some measurements and go from there. Righto, let's do some measuring. So we're looking for 81 to 81.015 millimeters. I'll be measuring 6 places. Top, middle and bottom that way. Top, middle, bottom that way. We'll go with a telescopic gauge and micrometer. I don't have a bore gauge, which mechanics normally would use for this. I'm a fitter and machinist, so I'm used to using telescopic gauges. This is front cylinder. Righto, what have we got? Lock that. Yeah. 81.02. That's pretty good. 81.02. So for the pistons it says measure 20 millimeters up from the bottom of the skirt. There's that mark there. Oh, I need to lock that up. Righto, what have we got here? That would be 80.93. That's the front. Our service limit is 80.88, so the piston's still within spec. Now, let's try the rear. .94, so very similar. So the other measurement is the piston ring to groove clearance. Probably not overly important because I'd replace the rings regardless, but we'll have a look. So it's saying first ring you got a service limit of 7th thou, second ring 6th thou. If I go straight to the 7th thou, top ring, fit straight in. 8th thou is tight. Goes in pretty easy. So that's just outside its limit. Rear piston, 8th thou goes in pretty easy. So I'll try 9. Yeah, actually 9 goes into that too. Rings are definitely worn. Yeah, that's more like 9th thou. Yeah, so what to do now? So the balls are slightly out. Doesn't really explain the amount of oil I was using because I don't think that's a real issue. For a 135,000 kilometre old engine, those figures are pretty good. So yeah, I've got to decide what to do now. I can buy cheap nasty looking pistons and cylinders for about 400 bucks off eBay. No idea what the quality of those would be like. I can go and buy oversized YZ pistons for like 800-900 bucks. Then I'd have to get the bores, I'd have to get the cylinders rebored and plated, which don't know how much that'd cost. a few $100. Then I've got to get the head reconditioned. I've also read about a SV650 cam swap you can do to get a bit extra power. So that cam swap, you take the DL inlet camshaft, move it to the exhaust, and you get a SV650 inlet camshaft from anything from 2003 up, and put that on your DL inlet side. So yeah, I'd have to do a bit more research and see if that's actually a thing, but apparently that gives you about 4 horsepower. And then doing all that, I'd have to get something, I'd have to get like a power commander to tune it all. So yeah, don't know. Is it worth sinking that much money into an old bike? Probably not. Do I want to do it? Yep. Yeah, anyway, so I'll leave it at that for this video. Yeah, keep an eye on the channel, see what I end up doing. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when new content comes out, and we'll see where Project V-Strom engine takes us. Decisions. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.